My name is Mike Finnegan. I'm here today with Vern Wagner, who's with Survivors Network of those abused by priests. And we're here today because we filed a lawsuit this morning on behalf of a courageous survivor, John Doe 28. He filed a lawsuit against the Diocese of Duluth today. He was sexually abused as a kid between 1972 and 1974 when he was between the ages of 11 and 14. He was sexually abused by Father Robert Klein. John Doe 28 was an altar boy at that time, and Klein took this child, as he did with a number of other children, to Brainerd and abused them on the car ride to Brainerd and at his mother's house in Brainerd. And this was one of the patterns that Klein had. Tragically, what we've known about Klein's past is that the diocese knew that he had molested other kids before Doe 28 was ever exposed to him. They sent him for treatment. In the 60s it got so bad that they sent him to Milwaukee to get treated. And then even after that, when he got back, there are 2 more reports that the diocese had about him abusing kids before our client ever met him. Tragically, it could have been prevented. There are 2 main aspects of this lawsuit today. The first is that Doe 28 is seeking to have the diocese release all the names of the priests that have sexually abused children within this diocese. Second part is that this client's bringing a negligence claim against the diocese. The first claim is for nuisance that seeks to have all the names that this diocese knows about and this bishop knows about made public. Back in 2004, the diocese admitted that as of that point, they had 17 people, 17 different names that the diocese knew about in 2004. To this date, this bishop has chosen not to make those public and keep those secret. What that's done is put kids at risk. Kids in this community are not safe until these 17 names are known to the public, known to parishioners, and known to parents. These people, even if they're not in ministry still, are in our communities and around our kids. And so what this lawsuit seeks is to have those names made public. Every day, every hour that passes, that these names remain quiet and the bishop chooses to keep them quiet, puts kids at risk. Not too long ago, this bishop promised the community here that he would be transparent and that he would fight child sex abuse. We're here today to invite him to do that. The best way that he can do that today is to release these names. We know today, first case that we filed back in July, we asked the bishop at that point in that lawsuit to give these names. That case was against John Nicholson. Today's case is against Robert Klein. So we think that there's 2 that we know about that are on that list. That leaves 15 other predators that the bishop has chosen to keep secret. Those are the names that this lawsuit seeks to be made public. And we're hoping that the bishop here can find the courage and the conviction to protect children and make those names public. Last week, we were involved in cases in the Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, and we had been in court with them numerous times over the last 5 years trying to get them to release their names. Last Monday, a court in Ramsey County, St. Paul, ordered the Archdiocese of St. Paul, Minneapolis, and the Diocese of Winona to release all their names like this. Last Thursday, the Archdiocese did in fact release their list of names. And we're hopeful that now that that's been done, that the bishop here will release the names so the kids in this community are protected. I'll let Vern speak. Then I'll take any questions after.
My name is Vern Wagner, and I'm the Northern Director for SNAP, the Survivor Network of Those Abused by Priests. This is our website that people can go to contact us that either have questions or maybe victims themselves. This is what I looked like when the priest molested me, Father Nicholson, up at St. Rose when I was an altar boy in 5th grade. We need to recognize how important it is to release these names. You know, if you're looking for a doctor, you can go to a website and find out if that doctor's ever been in trouble. You can find out about a dentist, you can find out about a nurse, you can find out about a lawyer. But we can't find that out about a priest, the ones that are with their kids. And these bishops know that it's important for these people to be identified. Every time this happens and we have an identification like this, our phones start ringing and people call and say, I thought I was the only one that this happened to. And it turns out, no, you're not. There were a bunch of us. And I just got a call from a gentleman from the Northland here, and I can't say where yet. But that guy called me up and said, I was abused when I was a teenager. I've lived with this my whole life. And I've had drug problems, I've had alcohol problems, it's affected my marriage, I've been in depression. And, you know, as he told me his story, and I said, your story is exactly like so many of ours. All of us had to go through this. And for him, it was such a relief to realize he's not alone. And that's what's important about our group, SNAP. We've all walked down this road together, and we can provide stories for each other and support for each other. That's what we ask. You know, if you buy a used car, you can get a Carfax, and it'll tell you the history of that car. What we're asking for is a priest fax. Is it important? Superior, Wisconsin, they also need to be, the bishop there needs to come forward with this list. It wasn't that many years ago that a Father Erickson committed a double homicide in Superior, and he ended up taking his own life. He was the prime suspect. He was alleged to have been the murderer and he was accused of molesting a child. He ended up killing 2 people and took his own life. This is not a victimless crime. This might have happened years ago for some people, but these folks are still out there. They're still your neighbors. They might be that guy who's down at the end of the block that seems like such a nice guy, but he's still out there. And it's important for the community to at least know who these people are. It's important for other victims to realize that if they see this name of this priest, it's important for them to realize I'm not the only one he did this to. We urge people to come forward, give us a call, go to our website, you'll find our contact information, and get help for yourselves. We have support groups to assist each other. We have an opportunity to do a lot of healing. But it cannot be done if the bishop is going to drag his feet, and that's all he's been doing, is dragging his feet on this.